Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another WIP Wednesday, where I only sort of know what I'm working on this week. Rip it and rip it, babe. Yeah!
Yeah!
Crack open a cold one. A cold vanilla Coke with the boys. Absolutely. Let's get into it. We got a new look. I got a new little fit for my little guy. He looks excellent, as always. And we're doing the little inkwell guy. I forget what his name is. Hold on. It's Inkster. That's the lad. Little Inkster hanging out with us. Because we're hopefully gonna get some writing done today. Or world building at the very least. I've picked up working in the program Obsidian again, and I used to have an Obsidian vault open. I used to be big into it, but then I transferred to Notion, and then I didn't like Notion, so now I'm starting from scratch on my Obsidian vault. So, cause, you know, I couldn't have just kept all of the stuff from that Obsidian vault in place. That would have been too easy. So we're repopulating the Obsidian Vault, mostly to make sure that I know what I'm doing with my setting. And I think I want to work on, like, designing some creatures today. And also going over some creatures that I already have kind of fleshed out. Oh my goodness. Is that music too loud? I feel like it's just a touch. Just a teensy. That's better. Of course, it'll never be as loud as Mikey. Isn't that right, Tinker? Tinkums. Those squitchins. She'll be fine after a little bit. So we'll start with... I always start with whale wolf, because it's the one that I remember the most. Other than, like, bow, I guess. I stole them loosely from Indigenous Canadian folklore. I forget the term we're supposed to use. But the creature's called an acolyte, I believe. It's like a shape-shifting killer whale creature. So, stolen loosely, but it's really just like a hybrid of a wolf and a whale, or otherwise cetaceous creature. In the same way that, like, Jeff the Land Shark kind of exists, but more menacing. Man. Jeff the Land Shark as like a full grown man. Full grown man would be terrifying. Werewolves are large predatory monsters that are hybrid of any canid and cetacean. C-E-T-A. Nope, I'm not gonna remember. We gotta Google it. C-E-T-A. T-E-A-N. That's why I fuck it up. Cetacean. Common variants are like timberwolf crossed with killer whale. I want like a false killer whale in there too. What are we gonna cross with that? Because false killer whales are like horrifying. They're like fucked up Frankenstein dolphins. Do we do false killer whale maned wolf? I think that would be awful. It'd be an awful lanky mess of a creature. And that's kind of why I love it. I'll write it down. Do we want a traditional dolphin variant too? Even though it would be silly to call it a whale wolf if it's dolphin variant. But a cetacean's a cetacean, you know? Who would you cross? I want like I'm envisioning like border collie bottlenose dolphin cross, and I think that would be the worst option for everybody. Border collie bottlenose would be... Dolphins are such a menace. Would you like to get herded on land and on sea? They herd like fishing vessels and fish to the fishing vessels. Like, excellent work creatures. But if you neglect to give them a job, you're just gonna... they're gonna circle around you and create like a little whirlpool and just engulf you into the sea. I think that would be hilarious. So werewolves, obviously. I am going to put bow on here because they are a core tenant. Bless you. They are Chow adjacent, obviously. As if I wasn't obsessed with those little creatures enough. But they're more like if Chow could digivolve, I think is kind of what I settled on. Because they can get bigger than just like the little like 1 foot tall blobs that Chow tend to be. So bow are small, gelatinous creatures. Yes, I did spell gelatinous wrong. That spawned from incubated mana pearls. We've gotta make mana pearls its own entry too, because that's also a whole thing. No, please. They come in various colors and styles. And can grow and evolve almost indefinitely. I think I decided I wanted...
Real quick. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Another
Yeah.
and I noticed.
Oh yeah? That's awesome.
So I said thank you. Yeah, I was
Ooh, thank you. I made them myself.
I know, I put my best. Like,
I appreciate it.
and they both said they
Heck yeah. Lurk anytime. We are a pro lurker stream. Because I also tend to be the type to like lurk and not really talk in live streams, so I completely understand. Yes. So yes, with the bow, I had an idea for when they're incubating or when they're evolving. Similar to how, as you may or may not know, in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, when a Chow goes through an evolution or a reincarnation or whatever, they're encased in like a little onion-shaped egg for a moment, and then it's to make it a surprise. It like fades in and then fades out really weirdly. I always thought it was fun. And I think it would happen for Bao over like a longer time scale, because with Chow obviously it's like instant. And I think their little egg casings would probably more resemble like mermaid purses. Mermaid's purses are a thing, by the way. That's not like a fantasy term that I have made up. That is an IRL term for, yeah, shark eggs. Some sharks that lay eggs. I know you know things. That's why you're dating me, so I can teach you more things. That's true. You have.
Eyebrow noises.
No, it's okay. I like the mermaid's purse idea. Because there's also like different varieties of mermaid purses, so we can kind of get funky with it. So Bao can go on the list. We could flesh out mana pearls too. Mana pearls. What's the term for like, excuse me, the process of an oyster generating a pearl? I'm sure there's like a word for it, right? I know it's knacker. Give me the Wikipedia page, sure.
I've been trying to come up with a... Sorry.
It's okay.
Just want you to know.
I appreciate the effort.
I got with...
Oh, it is very much goo ball. Imagine an oyster just going...
Yeah. I mean, that is how they make pearls.
Oh, absolutely it
It's
is.
just fair.
Yes.
They go.
I love funky looking pearls, by the way. Physical properties, formation. Can I get a word? Mantle deposits layers of blah. Commonly held belief of blah. No. Nope, you're not gonna give me a word. There's no way this process doesn't have like a term for it. Cultured? That's like a whole process. That's a related but separate process. I'm gonna try not to get too much in the weeds about it because, good lord, can I get in the weeds about it. Mana pearls are created by insert mana oysters. They are well springs, magical energy, and tend to be good conduits for spellcasting or and. Huh? Yeah, you're good. Sorry. No, you're good. The chips were just especially, you know, I could like hear it through my noise canceling headphones and I was like, that's going to become a problem for me. And no, it's okay. You're good. We solved it. We squashed it. Squash the beef. We squashed that beef. Like a smash burger, baby.
I was fucking get out of my goddamn brain. I don't want to say that.
We love a smash burger.
Hello?
Oh yeah, it's about that time. Good conduits for spellcasting and for faceting into magical artifacts? Magical faceting into magical artifacts or weapons. Sure. There are many variations in color and in shape, just like real pearls. I'm not going to worry about the entry for mana oysters right now because it's mostly self-explanatory. But the pearls are essentially... mana pearls are essentially pearls made of pure magic. It's as if, you know, like the superstition of like a grain of sand entering it in an oyster and then it like irritates it to form the pearl or whatever. It's like like a little magical notch in this oyster, and the oyster's gotta do more magic about it. I think they're fun. They're very... I don't know if I'd make them the most prized like spellcasting object because they're pretty common, but they scale bigger, if that makes sense. Like if you had do they measure pearls in carats? I'm assuming they do. If you had like a 4-carat ruby and a 4-carat red mana pearl, they might be of like similar caliber. But then if you have like an 8-carat ruby and an 8-carat mana pearl, red mana pearl, the power would scale exponentially. The 8-carat mana pearl would be like more powerful and more useful for transferring that magical energy, which is why we can add onto this list my great behoister. It's so stupid. It's a... like if a beholder was a scallop. That's a little spoilery, so we're not gonna get too much to it on stream, but it's gotta have an entry in here too. Nope. 2 brackets. The Great and Powerful Trixie. Okay, so blah 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 blah. Wonderful. That's already more progress than I thought I was gonna make. What else do we got? I had a couple more in the list, but I wasn't super dedicated to them. Found some inspiration on Tumblr for like raptures. I think were on my list, which are like velociraptors based on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which is fun and funky. This isn't necessarily a setting where we have a whole lot of dinosaurs though. Not that you can't have dinosaurs, but it's not. I don't think that's gonna make it into the final cut. I put the clowns over here. Clowns aren't technically creatures, but I should make an entry for them, I guess. I can put them in my groups folder. We've got the 5-headed Hydra-like crime syndicate and the clown college. What? How many other groups do you need? Did I have a name for the clown college? Do we want to come up with a name for the clown college? I guess we probably should. There's like a clown college, I think. And obviously like clowns can teach other clowns how to be clowns, but there's like a central headquarter location in Niasta, I think, is what I settled on. Because I don't think any other continent would tolerate their shit, honestly. Honestly, I don't. Okay. Does it have to be? I mean, it has to be alliterative, right? I'm a sucker for alliteration. It's gotta be like CC's Clown College of Art and Design. Right? Oh. Do we gotta roll for it? I do have my bananagrams. I had my bananagrams out earlier today. Contrary to popular belief, I don't always pull out the bananagrams at first hat drop, you know? Sometimes you gotta stew in it. You gotta think if you know any actual good clown names, and the answer is no. But boy oh boy. Maybe I'll just label it Clown College for now. Is parentheses insert name is the one and only professional clown college? Licensed clown college? I guess technically they have like a council of all like the head clowns. Inkay? What about Inkay? I hate that Pokemon. Adjacently. Oh, that's the name of the little guy? Yes, I believe it's Inkster. And my dude's shirt has Inkster on him. You can kind of see the little feather quill. I designed the outfit after it. It's very cute. But yeah, it's not a corporation, so I've got to call it like Clown College is the only professionally licensed school devoted to the practice of clownery in oh no, what did why am I drawing a blank on this? Is it just, yeah. No, on Prima is fine. Run by a council of head haunch clowns. Head haunch clowns. Oh. That's stupid enough to potentially work. I'm writing it down. It might be edited later, but I'm writing it down. Run by a council of head haunch clowns. And is the location... No, it is storage place of spoilers. We're not gonna talk about that right now, but it's gonna be fun. Did I ever just side on? I did. I don't know where I put that note though. We'll write about the clowns later. What's next on the list? Mikey, what's next on the list? Oh, crosshounds we can do. Put the crosshounds on here. New note. Crosshounds are large, candid creatures that serve as companions and what's the term for like travel fodder? That's not it. Mikey! Mikey, what is it? Come on. Crazy. The term for like what you would call like a horse. Is it beast of burden? I thought beast of burden was like work creatures, like mules and oxen. I'm just gonna put I could just call them mounts because that's what they are. Popular specifically in Fiesta. They come in many different breeds and temperaments. AKA pretty much anything we have a modern IRL dog for. And probably fantasy dogs too. Beautiful. Put cross sounds on the list. What else? Do we want to stick with the bone fairies? I think they're so fun. They're very Totumbran. Yeah. We'll stick with the bone fairies. That's not what I wanted. Bone fairies and their smaller variant, tooth fairies, are Totumbran creatures that collect.
Great news. Originally, the guy that I talked to yesterday said they would do an investigation over the course of a week, and then they would make some sort of determination. I was on hold all that time, and she came back and said, "So we're gonna order a correction." So they did the investigation already because I took pictures.
Excellent.
So
So
we're
it's
getting
settled?
the $600 taken off of the bill.
Thank God.
It's gonna take a couple days to
Obviously, yeah.
to update, but we're good.
That's amazing. I'm proud of you.
Mwah. You shouldn't be, but thanks. I'll take it. I love you.
I love you too.
Mikey, are you proud of me? Stink.
Stinky. She would be more proud if you threw her ball, Mama. Mama. They collect bones of any sort, usually by sneaking into people's houses, wandering battlegrounds, and graveyards. Or I'm imagining like lurking around like butcher shops. I think that would be kind of fucked up. Ma'am, what do you have to say about the bone fairies? I'm sure they hate being called bone fairies because they're not part of the Feywild, but that's what everybody calls them, so. Too bad. Mikey, is that your ball? My goodness. She so doesn't want people to get her ball that if I even like say anything about it, she's already like on top of it. She's so silly. So the bone fairies can stay. I don't know if those are gonna stay, so I'm not gonna put that there. Oh, that's what I called the guys. Man. I wrote a lot about these creatures. creatures. Oh my god. It's wild. What are you doing? This is also spoilers, so we're not going to talk about it, but I am going to put it in here because they're integral. Spell that right? Ma'am, what do you have to say? Say it to my face. CEPHALO. Yes. Okay. Baby. You're fine. Crazy baby. You crazy baby. You crazy baby. I'm gonna copy all of this, but especially since I based it on a creature that is not the reference anymore, but ma'am, you're going to be asked to leave the club if you cannot behave. Crazy? You were being so nice before I hit this stream. You were being so chill. And now your scrungus is so pink. You're so pink. Ma'am. You gotta relax. Of course, now that I'm thinking about it, I have to decide if my current iteration of these creatures is what I want it to be. And I think it is. I like the cicada direction we've gone with. So I'll play with that. I'm gonna put this here. And hope that we're fine. Do you ever, like, find an old whip or an old, like, part of your whip and you're like, damn, this is good, why don't I do this all the time? I also feel like sometimes the name is like too on the nose when you're like naming things. Sometimes I feel like the name is too on the nose, but then I don't know, then I look at pop culture and the name is always too on the nose. I don't have a specific example, I guess. But like Jeff the Land Shark. Like you don't have to call him a shark hound or whatever. A sharksund. He's a land shark. That's the whole bit. And we love him. Isn't that right, Mikey? You love him. You would love to play with Jeff the Land Shark. Go get your ball. It's over here. Go get it. Doofus. feel like it should be separated. Fully fledged.
Okay. Where's your ball?
That's so fucked up. This is a bug that I'm working on, essentially. We're not gonna go into too many details, but it's a bug that I'm working on, right? And because of how like the size ratios work in my setting, it's very similar to how they work in like Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. The line is that these creatures are considered small and they tend to span about 3 feet long, which is crazy for a bug. That's too big for a bug. But it's still, you know, small. And what size? Small. Oh my goodness. I know some people IRL who, if they saw a bug that was 3 feet long, regardless of what the bug is or is doing, I think they would spontaneously combust. I know they would spontaneously combust. Some of them. Ma'am? Oh, that's right. I gave them an iron exterior because they were based on these golden, bronze birch boar. That's probably gonna change. Should it be 8 for large? It should be 8 for large. If we're scaling this up the way that it should be. 8 for large. Did I make... No. I could make a variation of these. That was the thing that I'm thinking of. Sometimes I get too attached to a media. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't do this thing that I'm thinking of. Where was I? Call. Physical presence will also start. The lady is a TM. Now, can I call the brood mothers of this insect queens, knowing that the other distinct feature I have fleshed out in this world right now is my five-headed crime family syndicate? That's the word. That is playing card themed and thus has queens as an important part of the function. I mean, yes. I don't know what else you would call it. Ladies are taken, the handmaiden's taken, mother is taken. What's another? Duchess? Like, go down the list of like hierarchical feminine names from queen to princess. I could call them princesses. I think that would be hilarious. I think it would be hilarious to call the brood mother of this terrible, terrible species princess. But I don't think I could in clear conscience call them that. I'm gonna continue calling them the queens. You know, if it one of those things, if I come up with something better, I'll come up with something better. It's not a type heading, so it's editable. Even if it was a type heading, it's editable. You know? Queens are... Excuse me. Nope, that's not how you spell that. Versions of large, huge, or massive category. Too large to transport, so they live in Parthenogenesis for the win. Oh my goodness. Do bugs do that? I'm sure. Probably. Snakes aren't the only creatures that eat their prey whole. It just seems a little silly. I don't. Well, no, I don't think bugs tend to eat large prey like that. I feel like that's a unique experience for an insect. Okay. I'm glad we've got them on the list because I obviously didn't forget about them because they're very important. But they certainly weren't first on my list of creatures to rewrite and add to this shit, so. Hydra, I think we're gonna skip. Gallows birds and mischievants. We're definitely keeping. They're homegrown, so I'm allowed to keep these ones. God damn it. Nope. I'll figure out how to write and markup if it's the last thing I do. It's a gallows bird is a combination of a bearded vulture and I believe it's a bare-chested bellbird. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Because I found out recently it wasn't specifically just a bellbird. I want this one bellbird. Bear. Please be careful with this Google search. Actually, just give me bellbird. White bellbird. Close. That is a fun one. They've got a fun little waddle. Bare-throated bellbird. Are these ones also very white? Or is it just the white? Are these ones also very white? Are these ones also very loud? Or is it just the one? Let's do a quick wiki search. Let's do a quick wiki. That's a Tolkien character, I believe. Male has one of the loudest calls of any bird. Sharp sound like a hammer striking an anvil or bell. Yes. So I think they're both very loud. The white bellbird's probably louder. I like the bare-throated bellbird though. They've got the fun green face, but the white bellbird has the cool little waddle. We'll put white bellbird down for now. White bellbird. Put that in my pocket. Put that in my kangaroo pocket. Posts up in dead trees around. They serve as the first line of defense and an alert system. Loud boys. Adorable. Adorable little birds. Loud as hell though. That's done. Mischievance. Yes, that's right. I made the world's tiniest griffin. And I made it a combination of a shrike and a black-footed cat. Which are two of the most proficient and most violent hunters in the animal kingdom. And I made it essentially a really terrifying pigeon in some large cities, I believe. Where are we at? Untitled. Of course, impossible to spell. Mischievance. Griffin, like combination. They inhabit pretty much any place crowded with humans and thus crowded with vermin because of their horrifying hunting tactics. Wonderful. And I think that's about it for that list. There's some on here that I might consider in the future. I had an Hydra as well, which is like a Hydra version of a Beholder, which I thought was interesting, but I don't know. Excuse me. I'm less dedicated to it now than when I initially put it on the list. Oh my god, I'm yawning. What are we doing here? I have so many notes on these stupid clowns. They invade my brain sometimes. That's all the creatures that I had planned. Now we can brainstorm new little creatures if we want. That tends to take more doing. If we remove... I think I'm gonna make... Okay. The brain is going. I think we're gonna switch. Nope. Go back. In Obsidian, I have 4 little windows open, and every time I go to like open a new document, it opens the new document in the wrong window. Every time. And I know that I have to stop doing it this way. But my brain will not let me stop doing it. So I'm gonna make the gallows bird just a combination of any old vulture. I'll pick a specific vulture later. Because I really want a like fucked up sphinx creature that's a bearded vulture and a hyena spotted hyena. I think that would be fun. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but I want it. I've had this thought more than once. That's why it's going down on paper now. My goodness. I feel like none of my docs are working. But if they aren't, that's fine. Nope, we're good. Stream's still alive. Yeah, as long as we're still alive, everything's fine. Even if we weren't, we'd still be fine. I could still finish and post it on YouTube, I suppose. But I want to bring the lo-fi vibes. So, if we make it griffin-like, we can make it a creature. If it's sphinx-like, then it's like a race that you can be. It would be under the Tor race, the Foralis Taurus race that you could be, which are two different things. So we're just gonna go with like a straight griffin interpretation of it. Griffin-like combination of a bearded vulture and a spotted hyena. Vicious predators that hunt and scavenge in packs and will eat every part of their prey, including the bones. And that's the important part, because I believe both bearded vultures and spotted hyenas are ossivores. So that's why it lines up so perfectly in my brain. And I feel like, well, okay. What are we gonna call these nerds? Spotted high vulture. I usually don't object to just mashing the names together, but vulture and hyena are rough to fit together. Cause it's gotta be like hyture or Volhyena, which just sounds too yonic for what it is. What is, let's go with some scientific names. Ooh, is that charged? Yes. Bonus charged. I'm not on a leash anymore. The crow is off the leash. Spotted hyena. Crocuta. That's fun. And then bearded vulture. Tripatus barbatus. Now that's just like a fantasy name for a dude. Gypaetus barbatus is very good. I don't think those are combinable either. They're too perfect on their own. Though I do love scientific like Latin names that are like, you know, we found this one first. Like crocuta for the spotted hyena, or like ursus for like the brown bear or whatever. It's like, check this box first. This is bear. That's the one. We can make it a play off of Griffin. I'm never creative enough with the names. Sometimes you get one that just hits. Like Gallows Bird and Mischievant, I came up with on my own. And Great Behoister and Whale Wolf. All of these I have come up with on my own. They're never timely though. It's always one of those, like, as you're falling asleep, your head hits the pillow, your eyes close, and then they snap back open and you're like, Whale Wolf! Gotta go write it down. Grab phone. Oh my gosh. What about... Is there a, like, vor suffix term for them? For what I'm needing? Not that I wanna... No. Where's the end with vor? I understand where I went wrong. I did like dash vor words, hoping to look up the suffix, but because of how like search engines work, it just Googled words minus vor, which is correct, but not what I'm looking for. Omnivore is not incorrect. They're like obligate carnivores though. Both of them. Is there like a scavenger vor word? Goodness. Organivore? Enthusiast of organically grown raised food. This is not what I need. Molluscivore, insectivore, omnivore, frugivore is animal whose diet is mostly fruit. I mostly knew that. Infovore. Yeah, that's me. Term for scavenger, and I just saw it in vor. Carnivore is not what I want. You're such a butthole. Welcome to what it's really like being a writer, by the way. Googling endlessly to try to figure out what you truly need. And I can't just call them like a hyper carnivore. Because that, first of all, that's too edgy. Second of all, I can call them a laughing griffin. I think that would be kind of adorable. It's cute until you see them swallow a femur whole. Laughing griffin as it is for now. Excellent. Excellent choice. Is there something we could combine with a moose to make it more menacing? Not that a moose needs to be more menacing, but in like a, what was the, is it a Petreon? That's like a bird deer? Come on, you know what I'm... Exactly. Hariton. I might be dyslexic. It's fine. Combines the features of a bird and a stag or deer. Yeah, they're like... They're often bipedal, which I think is kind of silly. It's like a deer griffin. I don't want to say a deer hippogriff, because a hippogriff is horse, lion, eagle. And you don't need the lion in there. It's just like deer bird. It could be bipedal? What bird would you combine a moose with, though? You could obviously pick one that tends to be in their territory. Like a bald eagle. But that's like boring. Excuse me, birds that live in cold climates. Preferably maybe like, ooh, we could combine it with like an owl. Shut up. Predatory birds. Predatory birds that live in cold climates. Raptors of winter. That's such a awesome page title. Rough-legged hawk, sharp-shinned and Cooper's hawks. Shore, kestrel. What about like owls? Obviously, there's like the snowy owl. But I want like a big boy, like that, like a great horned owl. Is that the big boy? There's like an owl that I know of that's like bigger than most other owls. Great horned, great gray. Yeah, that might be it. Snowy owls and barn owls are cute. They're not the menacing that I'm looking for, though. Ooh. Which one is that? Is that a great gray? Gray owls are cute. No, it would have to be great horned. Did I just... I bumped a button on my keyboard. I thought for a second it like muted everything, but I think we're fine. So give me new note. A periton YTON combination of a moose and a great horned owl. Because that's what we need to make it a predator. It's omnivorous, but tends to subsist more on roughage than hunting for prey. Now, what are we gonna call this disaster? I mean, it is still great and horned. Let me see. Great horned owl. Oh yeah, these guys are cute. They're little tufts on their head. Yeah. That's more the vibe. They're not the biggest, I don't think, but they're pretty big for owls. Why do we call a moose a moose? That's a good question. What's a moose's scientific name? Also known as elk in Europe. Loud, incorrect buzzer. Those are two different things. Alsace, Alsace! This is what I'm talking about! The OG! I don't think they're capable of flight. If we're gonna make these guys capable of flight, you'd have to make those wings fucking huge. And if they're living in the forest, I don't think they're flying much. Maybe they can do like a little hop glide. Due to their massive size, but can usually for small distances. I can spell, I promise. This Wikipedia entry, I'm like scrolling through the like tags, like the chapter titles of like the sections of the moose's Wikipedia entry, and one of them definitely says moose cavalry, which I know is a thing that was attempted. Did not go well. They're not super easy to domesticate, mostly because what are you gonna do if they don't want to do what you want them to do? You know what I mean? Great horned moose. Great horned mowl. No, that's a little too silly. There's also the option to call it like megafauna, some variation of megafauna, because that's what a moose is classified as usually. One of the last great megafauna that exists in North America. There's also the option to name it something like about its features. Like I'm imagining like it embodies a moose's ability to embrace silence as like a prey animal, despite the fact that it's huge, and also an owl's ability to embrace silence as a predator animal, even though it's very fluffy, because they've got those specialized feathers or whatever. That was a wild experiment. Have you guys ever seen that one where they were in like a studio and they had these like trained birds fly over a bunch of like microphones to see how much noise they made while flying, and they did like I don't remember if they had a third bird, but they definitely had like a pigeon and like a barn owl, and the pigeon is like a social creature, so it makes a lot of noise when it flies, because usually when it's in the air it's signaling for other pigeons to get in the air because of a predator. But that barn owl made no noise, made not a single, you couldn't hear a single wing beat from this owl, despite all the very highly sensitive microphones it was flying over, because they're just crazy adapted for it. So I'm imagining like also naming it like snow silence or something. Something silly like that. Snowlands. Mike and Snowlances. God. Can't use that one now. It could also be like a camouflage element. I'm gonna give this another like 3 minutes to stew and then we're moving on. Great. I do think Mowl is unironically kind of a fun thing to call it. Great. I need another like adjective, because obviously it's horned. Or just great Mowl is not terrible. But I need another adjective. Is that even technically an adjective? Am I stupid? No, it is an adjective. Like, I'm also thinking like great snow talon or something. Snow talon just goes so hard. Describe 50 birds. Sacred snow, sacred mowl. I'm gonna call it the sacred mowl. Mool? 1 O or 2? I think 2 O's is too silly. Sacred Mowl is fine. I like that. Okay. Now, is there like a legendary creature combination that includes a bear? Because I need more bears in my life. No, I'm not talking about Magic the Gathering. God. Reddit thread, mildly interesting. All the legendary bears are female except for Wilson. Hey, I'm not talking about Magic the Gathering. Minus MTG. Please get me out of this. Category, mythological bears. There we go. Callisto, Golden Bear of Legend. Daughter of King Lycaon. Hey, I know that guy. Wolf King of Wolf Mountain. Oh, that's right. Was Callisto turned into a bear? Adopted by Artemis? No. Expelled from Artemis's group because... yeah. That's right. Callisto was the one that was hunted by Orion. No, killed by her son. That's right. She's Ursa Major, which is like fine and dandy, but like that's still just a bear. Yokai, wonderful. A bear-like creature that has been known to walk upright. They sneak into villages at night to carry off livestock for food. I think that's just a bear, guys. I love hearing about Japanese yokai because either it's like the most off-the-wall shit, or it's just a little creature. By the way, I'm gonna swap locations real quick. For funsies. Browsing on the bed? Look at that. Adorable. Can't see the cute shirt any better from here, but that's fine. I can only do so much Greek mythology. There's so much nonsense. Golden bear? Large golden polar bear? Ursus arctos is polar bear, right? Brown bear. Wait a second. Ursus arctos is a brown bear. Then what's the scientific name for a polar bear? Welcome to the rabbit hole. Vulnerable. Ursus maritimus. Ursus maritimus? You're out of your fucking mind. I know this is a case of exactly what I was talking about. The brown bear is called Ursus arctos because arctos is just like the old English word for bear or whatever. Like that came first before we called the Arctic the Arctic. That doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. Tell me more about this golden bear. A great golden bear was reported in the area of Turner, Kansas. I don't think so. They sound like they're having fun with it though. So really nothing, huh? Bears are so cool, but they're not a part of like creature combinations the way some other the way some other animals are. You know what I mean? What would you combine with a bear to make it more interesting and or more ferocious? You know what my immediate thought was? Huh?
Man pig.
Man pig? Man bear pig.
This has been a South Park joke.
Thank you, darling.
I'm so funny.
I appreciate your input.
I've just got that twisted, skewed humor.
Yeah, man. You got that Joker in you.
I'm like so edgy.
Mm-hmm.
Call me Microsoft because I'm edgy.
Please don't black out on stream. Oh God. You good?
Yeah, I didn't fully myself.
Not fully.
Not fully, I'm fine, I'm fine. I didn't lose consciousness, I'm okay. I'm okay. Don't even worry about it.
I'm
It's just a
worrying
medical
about
condition.
it. I'm worrying about it a little bit.
It's a medical condition and it's fine.
Oh my God. Unironically though, I do think if you combined like a brown bear with a wild boar,
Oh,
it would be like unkillable.
honestly?
Honestly, I do kind of fuck with that.
Oh.
My only other thought was like a Wolverine.
Badger?
Badger.
Badger bear. Berger.
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 Berger. Also very
Honey
good.
Berger. Because the bear likes honey. Honey.
Winnie the Pooh, the honey berger. That sounds like the start to a terrible, like, Far Cry side quest. You gotta go, like, kill Winnie the Pooh, but it's the name of this, like, awful bear honey badger hybrid that they have roaming the fucking countryside.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she can stay mad at you. She'll be
I'm
fine.
being loud.
You're interrupting her beauty sleep.
Call me THX because I'm. What?
THX. Lord.
I'm like really.
You are.
That's my secret.
That's my secret cap.
I just say shit.
I've been faking it for decades.
I just say shit with such like
Yeah, dude.
weird confidence that
That's half the battle.
I really.
You gonna what? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull my crispy puss one of these days.
Not on stream, babe. That's against TOS. Oh no.
Oh no.
You woke her up.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
You woke her up.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I know I'm
I'm
so loud.
stressed.
I know I screamed on the stream. Audio, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Are you gonna explain puss now? Or are you just gonna let me be a fucking weirdo in the background?
Am I going to explain Crispy Puss to people? I mean, I can. Do you want me to, or do you just...
You know what? I leave it up to you.
My girlfriend has a medical condition.
Wait, hang on now. This is the bad way to start. Hi.
It's named after a Greek guy, philosopher dude, who died of this condition, and it's not related. It's a condition where if she laughs too hard, she passes out.
Correct.
And we referred to it by the dude's name, which is Crispy Puss. I'm sure you
He
pronounce
died.
that differently.
He died laughing at his own joke.
He died laughing at his own joke,
Which
yes.
he had made when he was watching a drunk donkey eat some figs.
Yes.
It's the best thing I've ever heard. I wish I knew the joke.
Yes, me too. I do believe you may be destined to die of laughing at your own joke one day.
Yeah.
We've made several jokes about, like, not being able to tell jokes in the car because if I'm too funny, it's just gonna off-road us.
Correct.
Like Thelma and Louise.
Don't be too funny. We'll die.
Yeah.
We'll drift. Tokyo drifting.
Tokyo Drift. Absolutely. What's the biggest bear? Brown bear? Brown bear biggest bear? Polar bear biggest bear? Excuse me.
Hey, I've got nothing for you. I'm sorry. Honey.
The Wikipedia entry that comes up is the Kodiak bear. Also known as the Kodiak brown bear or the Alaskan brown bear. One of the two largest bears alive today, the other being the polar bear. That's right, aren't they? Did you hear they're making growler bears? Well, the bears are making growler bears.
Okay. No, I didn't.
Because climate change is eliminating so much of polar bears' native range, they're starting to come south
Yes.
into like normal tundra regions, and they are cross-mating and hybridizing with grizzly bears,
Yes.
creating growler bears.
Yes.
Or alternatively, pizzly bears. Both of them, bad.
Yes. Get out of here. Grizzly bears is worse.
Pizzly bear. We'll call it a Kodiak bear. Kodiak bear. Ooh. Wild boar? Is that more what I want? Are they the same thing? Let's do Scrofa versus... Oh no, so feral pigs are domestic pigs that have gone feral, which I hear takes approximately 24 hours. And then wild boars are just completely wild. Swine. Absolute terror if provoked, but are usually solitary hunters / foragers. We gotta call it like a something razorback, right? Boars have also rehybridized in recent decades with feral pigs. Yo. These guys are big. Them some big boys. Up to 16 subspecies are recognized, which are divided into 4 regional groupings based on skull height and lacrimal bone length. Wild. Wild how taxonomy works. I try not to think about it too much because I try to do it too much with my own stuff, and it's 80% nonsense. 80% nonsense. Let me go back to Kodiak bear. Ursus arctos middendorfi. Arctos razorback. Arctos razorback also sounds like a crazy cool fantasy character name. Like a barbarian. We're putting it in. Arctos razorback. Perfect. Perfect. Flawless. Grizzly bears, Ursus arctos horribilis. That's amazing. Kodiak bears are on average 1.5 to 2 times larger than their cousins. Oh my god. That's a big bear. Bears are big, guys. I don't know if you knew this or not. Bears are big. Excellent. Excellent progress. I love all of this that we've done so far. What haven't we done? Oh, I was thinking the other day about, I was helping Kragan with some of their stuff, and we were talking about mounts. And I think river otters are terrifying. What if we do like a weasel? We could bring up, it could be a river otter. We could bring a honey badger or a wolverine into this because they're all part of the same family, part of the same fucked up family reunion. I don't know what you would combine with it though. What direction do you go? If you have a river otter and you combine it with a bird, then you have a terror on land, air, and sea, and that is something I'm potentially interested in. Oh, I need to put my hippoporcus on here. I forgot about them. Hippoporcus. Is that too many creatures that are based on a killer whale? Potentially. But they're going on the list anyway. Okay, so could potentially put wings on a river otter. I don't know what bird you would pick though. You could do like a crane potentially, but that's less interesting. What about Lord, we're already 2/3 of the way through the stream. I've just been yapping. That's how I want these streams to go, honestly. What other animals can we play God with? You want to do some fish? Some fish other than orcas that we can put in the setting. Fish aren't, they're not interesting, but a lot of them are kind of samey because of how their biome functions, unfortunately. What about like an octopus hybrid? Octopus squid hybrid, that could be interesting. What would you hybrid it with? Because there's so little that fits with it. It doesn't have to fit. That's the beauty of hybridization. A moose and an owl don't fit together either, but we're gonna make it work, you know? But at least, you know, when you're crossing other barriers, at least you have like a similar number of limbs to work with. Or you can add like the 6th set for like winged quadrupeds. or centaur type creatures. What the fuck are you gonna do with an octopus though? I'm interested in like a what was that creature from Subnautica that those aliens fucked up? A warper? Like a warper like creature? You could potentially do that with an octopus. Not exactly, obviously, because we don't technically have aliens to come in and put octopus parts in a shell to kill things with. We could do an interesting, like, nautilus creature. With, like, a fun and funky shell. Have you guys seen paleo art of, like, those old pre-nautiloids? With, like, the funky spiral shells and stuff? I think they could be interesting. Or I'm thinking like trapdoor octopus. Would that be fucked up or what? Trapdoor kraken? Hold on. Trapdoor kraken. An octopus-like creature that lives in a shell or other structure buried in the sea floor. It implements a door like system similar to a trapdoor spider to lure prey in with a false sense of security before snagging them and dragging them into its den. That sucks. That's the kind of nonsense that I love thinking of, though. Trapdoor kraken. Lord. In that case, I don't know if there would be any good, like, hybrids for that sort of creature. I'm trying to think of one later. Sea creatures just aren't as fun to hybridize. Unless you wanna, you gotta pick the weird ones, like lobsters. Or, starfish. Or garden eels. I love garden eels. They're cute. They could be a lot more horrifying. That is just kind of the tagline of this setting is... It was cute, but it could be a lot more horrifying. What other weird fruits could we manage? I do have like favorites, but some of these creatures I don't know if you could reasonably hybridize. Like similar to the octopus problem. Like I also really enjoy velvet worms. What are you gonna do with that? They're just kind of Muppet caterpillars. Even more than caterpillars usually are. Hmm. I've actually gotten a lot accomplished on this stream, which is great. But now I'm becoming like less pressed about coming up with more new things. Let's do another little googly search. What other monstrosities could we create? What about like oh, I want a teeny tiny griffin. Hummingbird combination. What would you pair that with? A hummingbird. Oh, they're so cute. It is one of the world's smallest birds. They're incredibly fast, they're incredibly fragile, and they mostly drink like nectar from flowers. To the point where they're so small they can be like victimized by ants. They're that small. What do you pair that with? We already paired something up with the black-footed cat, so obviously it's not going to be the black-footed cat. Also because Lord, hummingbirds aren't as predatory. Paula's cat is tempting. Golden cat, bobcat. Bobcats and lynx are very cute. They're very fluffy, and they have very short tails. I think that might work, actually. I used to know the difference between a lynx and a bobcat. Lynx. And bobcat. Taxonomists work in mysterious ways is how this article starts. That's so funny, and they're so correct. Bobcat is a medium-sized cat with long tufted ears and a short bobbed tail, while the lynx is a medium-sized cat with long tufted ears and a short bobbed tail. They're both part of the lynx genus, 4 different species belonging to this group, 3 of which share the family name. The Eurasian lynx, the Spanish or Iberian lynx and the Canadian lynx. And the fourth member is the bobcat. Okay. They have such big fluffy palms. They're so silly. Oh yeah, it would probably be more bobcat coated. Because hummingbirds aren't... Bobcats are smaller and hummingbirds aren't as far north, so... It's hilarious because hummingbirds are still like fiercely territorial. They'll fight other hummingbirds, so they're not without their sins, you know. I don't feel bad combining them with a cat like a bobcat, but it is going to look very funny when this itty bitty little like 3-inch tall guy comes up and tries to bite your little fingy. Now what do you call it? Humming Bob. I don't think that's going to be the forever name, but I'm so running on empty on like naming things juices today. I've already named so many things, and Humming Bob is such a funny name to me. Previously, I saw a 5th edition homebrew for these little creatures called Fuzzy Buzzies, which are like bee-cat hybrids. They're one of my favorites, and I'm not gonna steal it, but I think the Humming Bobs might be like my stand-in. Because I think if I make a bee creature, it's gonna be horrifying. I do already technically have a bee creature. I forget what I called them though. They weren't on the list. It was the pseudo mantids. They're based on like an actual thing. False garden mantis is not one I wanted. Mantid fly. That's what I wanted. I think. Yeah. They're like praying mantis bee hybrids. This is a real thing, by the way. They're not, as far as I know, nearly as deadly IRL as it sounds, but they look cool as hell. We'll put them in here. Based on the real life creature of similar Name these large insects resemble a cross between a fly or a Am I just gonna say Hymenoptera? Are flies part of Hymenoptera? I don't think they are. Hymenoptera is like ant. Bees, wasps, ants, hornets, and fire ants. I didn't know fire ants were classified differently than ants. That's fun. Sweet. It's another one for the list. Going strong. Even though it's really just like this IRL creature but bigger. Not like that's not a thing that fantasy novels don't do, you know? Okay. This is excellent. What else do we got? I'm imagining, like, I was trying to figure out something to do with our outliers. Like, the spiders and octopi and, like, crabs, sort of. Because crabs have a lot of interesting biology that we can kind of work with. What if you gave spiders, like, a shell? Would that be fucked up or what? Yeah. I think that would be pretty fucked up. Oh, and it's made of spider web. So if you like climb on top of it, you get stuck to it. Shut up. I hate that so much. I hate that so much. Oh my god. Let's spin shell, silk, and other debris. Now what do you call that? Shelled spider? No. False shell spider? Oh, excuse me. Goodness. What about My brain is supplying me with like mound builder spiders, but that's like less fun. There's a fine line between like labeling your fantasy creatures quote scientifically accurately and labeling them in an interesting way. Oh, howdy to Scrone, the sweetest baby. She's so sleepy. She's just a precious little scrun. A precious little scrungy. What about like it's not even like a mimic spider. It's not mimicking anything. It's just well camouflaged, probably. Mound weaver spiders. I like that. I'm creating horrible things over here, darling.
I'm so excited.
I love you.
I like you.
Anything else? We got 40 more minutes. I could definitely create at least one more monstrosity in 40 minutes. But what of is the question. Do you want something less horrifying and more cute? What the fuck would you do that with then? We could take an already domesticated animal and combine it with another cute animal. Oh, I was thinking about peacocks recently. A peacock Petreon would be very good. Periton. I'm going to mispronounce that for the rest of my life. A peacock Periton. Periton.
Yes. Sorry, I was.
Oh yes, we do love a pigeon too. A pigeon Periton? I don't know. We don't have a whole lot of good domesticated, like, deer, though. We could have fun, like, show horses. Show Peritons. Maybe? Otherwise, it would be a griffin type situation again, right? There isn't a whole lot of crosses with dogs either, but that hasn't stopped me yet. What do we do for, let me see, deer. Deer. There's, you know, there's like little guys. You do like a mutton jack combo. Taxonomy and classification? Is that what I want? No. Cervidae. Oh yes, tufted deer, cute. What about a dick? Is a dick a deer? Am I crazy? Or are they like distantly related? Hold on. Oh, they're antelopes, which is bovidae, which is more closely related to like cows and bison, I believe, which is hilarious, but it still works. Oh yeah, we gotta do this. Periton combination of a peacock and a dick. I've never heard what a dick sounds like, but I can't imagine. It would be less terrible than a peacock. Dick stands about a foot to less than a foot and a half. 12 to 15 and a half inches at the shoulder, and are 20 to 28 inches long all round. Peacocks. Did you say something, hon? That's not a bad idea either. Description. How big are peacocks technically? I think they come in different. There isn't like a single species of peacock, is there? Though. Two Asiatic species of blue or Indian peafowl. What about the smallest peacock? Come on. Without AI generation, please. There's a thread on the website Backyard Chickens where someone asks, could there ever be mini peafowl? And one response says, think about it, if peafowl was smaller, you probably couldn't free range them as easily without even the small hawks being able to eat them up. That's awful. They're correct, but that's awful. Description. Indian peafowl are about twice the size. 40 to 46 inches long and as much as 90 inches to the end of a fully grown train, which is fine. Again, obviously they don't have to be completely drift compatible for me to do this, but I think it would be adorable. My goodness. Now what do you call that? Well, I know the first thing I would call a combination of a peacock and a dick, but I don't think it's very, PG-13 of me. I'm gonna put it as the placeholder anyways. What?
I was trying to go off of the dick thing, and then I thought, well, the pee part of peacock isn't bad, so call it a pee-pee. Wait, no?
Exactly. You see my problem.
Yes.
Amazing. Astounding. Excellent. Getting so much done. This is exactly what I wanted these streams to be. I just need to... And this is why these streams are in this rotation, even though they're, I'll be honest, not currently performing well. I want these streams to be in rotation, first of all, because I like nurturing community and train of thought kind of writing and creating like this without the use of tools that perhaps shall not be named. Just to say that I could do it, maybe, and just to say that other people can do it, maybe. But also, like, I'm so bad at getting myself in the groove of writing and creating and doing things like this. But once I sit down, like once the stream started and once I was like, okay, we're gonna make some weird little guys today, I cranked out, Lord, how many are on this list right now? Some of them I already had made, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 creatures on this list. That's like 16 creatures. More than I thought there was going to be. AI is bad and wrong. This is an anti-generative AI page. Absolutely it is. Not to say any names, but I will say names. Generative AI can fuck off. But it's so nice because I've even stopped using like name generators. I'm a big fan, I'm a big supporter of like fantasynamegenerators.com or whatever is an actual site that you can actually go to, and they've got hundreds of generators on that site, I swear to God. It used to be one of my favorite resources to use when I was like younger and starting out, but now the exercise of like trying to figure this stuff out for myself and like doing the research into like root words that I can use and, you know, language loopholes that I can abuse, I think has genuinely made me a better writer and a better creator and a better world builder to be able to like sit here with my setting in front of me and be like, what kind of creature would live here? What kind of creature would these people own as pets? What kind of creature is going to be a terror to my players, you know, 20 sessions down the line? Like, there's dragons. Sure, I've got plenty of dragons because we fucking love dragons in this house. But Not, well, not that everything can't be a dragon, but I don't want everything to be a dragon. Sometimes you gotta throw a hippoporcus at your players and see what they're gonna fucking do about it. They're gonna run. That's what they're gonna do about it. I don't know. Love little exercises like this. It's a great time. I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are having a great time. I'm here for this. Let's see. Can we think of anything else that we want to incorporate? For the moment, I don't know. We've had a lot of good bases today. We've got some truly menacing things. We've got some mostly harmless scene setting things. We've got some human adjacent, well, not human adjacent creatures. Those are different, but like excuse me, more urban setting creatures with the I can't believe I put that as the placeholder name. I'm never gonna let it down. What other nonsense can we play with? Is there anything we could do with shark? I really enjoy sharks, but I haven't got anything for them yet. There's probably just gonna be like regular sharks. It's like, they're the perfect organism. How am I gonna make sharks better? Unless I made like a lava shark. Which is not impossible, but sharks are good. We got the spotted hyena, we got the bearded vulture, we got black-footed cat. What about I'm running out of creatures. This is fantastic. I never thought I'd get to this point. I know a lot of creatures. I'm not gonna worry about the flora as much as the fauna, because that's gonna be more off the cuff than creating hybrids. Not that we can't create creatures off the cuff too, but that takes a little bit more effort. Oh, we never did anything with the mustelids. What would you do with the mustelids? I'm imagining like a terrible cat dog creature, but it's just like honey badger at both ends. That would suck.
Badger, badger.
Badger, badger. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. I'm old enough to remember that, mostly. Or we can make like a like an otter tar would be awful. That's too many limbs to give those little hellions. What about like an otterconda? You take a river otter and you make it even longer, and you give it the ability to constrict its prey. That would suck. I'm putting it on the list. Otterconda also sounds like a terrible, like, C-list horror movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Velocipaster versus Otterconda. They still make the awful little demon child noises, I promise. Ooh, I've got another one. Sorry, that came to me so quickly. I'm imagining a flying fox like the bat, but its body is like a maned wolf. So it's essentially a maned wolf with bat wings, but you can still call it a flying fox. And that's exciting. Okay, so let's put... Whoa, Otterconda, and flying fox on here. This is the densest little note of nonsense I've gotten here so far. That's amazing. I keep saying I don't know if I have any more, and then I crank out like 2 or 3 more. Man. I don't know though. What other weird little guys do I have in my pocket? What other weird little mans could we think of? This isn't like a creature, but I do want just like really big olms. Is that what it's called? Yes. If you've never seen them before, they're also called cave salamanders. It's Europe's only cave-dwelling vertebrate. And I'm going to describe them to you, because if I put it on stream, it might get incorrectly flagged. Imagine an axolotl, and take away all the cute parts of the axolotl. This thing has no eyes, but it's still like the pale white with like the red, like flared gills. And it's also got a very, very long body and a long tail and skinny little legs. They're weird little guys. And I do enjoy them. Huh? Honestly, like, it's the shape and also the color that would definitely get me flagged. I think it would be a cool type of, like, modified type of dragon that you could do is to have, like, an alm drake to be, like, a water creature. I'll put that in my notes. I have notes. I have a notes page here, too. That's what that's open for. But dragons are a whole separate conversation. Well, I could probably do multiple streams on how many different types of dragons there are in this setting, because we're doing all of them. Yes, all of them. Even that one. All of them. Good stuff. What about... You know what I haven't done anything with? We haven't even touched the ratites yet. Bro. Again, how do you improve on perfection? These things are already dinosaurs. Ratites is the ostrich, emu, cassowary, kiwi family, by the way. In case you are unfamiliar. I could definitely make those into dragons. Probably. I was like, what else do you do with them? You could probably make them into terrible, terrible griffins. But what do you combine that with? My immediate thought was like a kangaroo. But I don't think kangaroos would mobilize like that. Like the legs of a kangaroo wouldn't mobilize if it was quadrupedal like that. Tasmanian devil. Now that might be something. Now that might be something. A cassowary Tasmanian devil griffin creature. I'm putting it in my notes. We're not fleshing that out tonight, but... What about like a koala panda? Like just big sleepy, but if you get anywhere close to it, it's got like 8-inch claws that'll just shoink. I think that would be hilarious. Two of the least optimized creatures in existence. And like, easily killable as long as you don't get within range. Just eating trees all day. Wild. Wish that were me. Okay. That might be it. That might be it. It was a good, productive WIP Wednesday, though. I had a great time. I hope you all also had a great time. While I have you here, make sure you come back and join me tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be checking out the indie roguelike No Skin is what it's called. It's a it's a pixelated horror RPG sort of thing. Does deal with some heavy-ish topics, but nothing heavier than I've seen in like The Binding of Isaac, so I'm not necessarily worried about streaming it. Except it has more dialogue than The Binding of Isaac, which is excellent because I love a game with some lore. And make sure you come back Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern as well. We're gonna have some more Happy Chower. We're gonna play with the little guys. Probably gonna finish Hero Story on Friday. Excuse me. Which is good and bad because I'm not gonna have any extra Chow eggs to start the Dark Story with. Unless we buy one. We might be able to buy one by then. We'll have to see on Friday. But it's fixing to be a good time either way. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for more. And if you don't hit either of those streams, next week on Tuesday, I'll be back with a new long play potentially. Because I haven't decided if we're going back for the Jeevil or the Jeevil or Spamton fight. There's 2 bonus fights that I could do at this point. Well, there's 2 bonus fights that I could have done much earlier, but that I can go back and do. And knowing my history with the combat in Deltarune / Undertale, I don't know if I want to subject myself to several episodes of that, so we might be starting a new long play. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. Need to figure that out soon. Very soon. Until then, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'll see you next time.